I think we need to do a round of applause for everyone who agreed to come to Thursday afternoon late presentation. So the other speakers are talking. So thank you very much to the folks that I don't know. So we have a new device for improving the safety of biopsy procedures, and most of the time you view biopsy procedures as short and safe and uneventful. But this threat of bleeding creates incredible anxiety for patients and clinicians because you're not sure who's going to bleed and why they're going to bleed. So when we first took a look at this project, we began by interviewing clinicians who did biopsy procedures, and we got mixed feedback. We couldn't get much agreement on what they felt were the outcomes. So what we did, we hired independent third-party company called Superior Medical Experts, and they did a PubMed search of everything they could find on the results of biopsy procedures. So in over 150 articles that they found with biopsy procedures that covered almost 400,000 biopsy procedures, they tabulated the primary and secondary outcome results. And when we saw this, we felt easily there was room for improvement, that this could be improved. One thing that everyone was in agreement on from the data that was in the literature plus the physicians we interviewed, there's this automatic 4 to 8 hour hold period after every biopsy procedure just to make sure nothing is wrong before you send patients home. And in some facilities like Cleveland Clinic, they keep every single biopsy patient for kidneys overnight, just checking on them. So the hold period doesn't fix anything or it doesn't prevent anything, it just lets you catch complications sooner. And even with this hold period, the data shows that between 1% and 5% of these folks end up being admitted because they have a complication. So how do we improve this? We have a new single-use disposable electrocautery biopsy closure device, the only device that can cauterize tissue through a biopsy guide needle. So the device is pretty clever. We just use 2 AA batteries that are in the handle. That sends current to the tip of our device that is superheated, and that superheated tip cauterizes or heat seals a tissue that's damaged by the biopsy tools. So it's small enough and long enough to fit through an 18 gauge guide needle or larger, which is used in almost all biopsy procedures. So advantages of doing this. Of course, we can prevent adverse events that are caused by bleeding. And then this patient observation time that's automatic, we believe we can either reduce that or eliminate that time to save hospital bed space and to save expensive nursing time. And also, we've got some feedback from clinicians that this may indeed prevent tumor seeding or the spread of cancerous tissue cells after biopsy procedures. We performed a clinical study on the device starting late last year, finished it in Q1. We went to 2 centers, one in Europe and one in the US. We treated 60 patients. We had 100% clinical success. We had 0 device-related adverse events, but most importantly, for every patient, we were able to confirm with duplex ultrasound that the biopsy channel was completely sealed, so there was no fluid in the channel. So this thing works. So I have a picture here of Dinas Krevins. He's a good friend, but he was the PI in our European center. And we have this picture because before we went to Europe, Dr. Krevins told me, we will not do kidney biopsies because they bleed too much. So just be prepared, we'll do liver and lung biopsies only. And after the first day of using the device, they started doing kidney biopsies. And in fact, 10 of the 30 patients they enrolled were kidney biopsies. So he was, we really met his requirements and he even exceeded his expectations. So we submitted our technical file 2 months ago in January. Our US submission is going in literally next week. So this puts us on pace for commercialization worldwide in probably late Q2 or sometime in Q3 this year, or yes, at which time we'll do a global limited market release in both territories. And right out of the gate though, we're gonna do a clinical registry in both Europe and the United States to collect more data. The device is already covered by 2 issued patents. One patent covers the device design, the other patent covers the method of using a cautery device after a biopsy procedure. We have a couple other design patents pending as well. This is the co-founding team. It consists of the 2 inventing clinicians that you see on the right, and then 2 of the 4 technical team members. The technical team is all med tech engineers. Between the 4 of us, we have over 100 years of experience designing and developing medical devices. Collectively, we have over 150 issued patents on medical devices, and previously we've gone through 4 med tech startup exits. These are our clinical advisors. All of them either contributed by participating in the clinical study or they had significant contribution to the design and development of the device. Biopsy market is huge, so this year was over $1.5 billion. It'll be double that by 2034, mostly because the population is aging. People are living longer, so you just have more of a chance to get a biopsy. Also, there's a high prevalence of cancer, and with improved imaging, they're performing more biopsy procedures. So these are our revenue projections. We think these are reasonably attainable. Just to give you a benchmark, $50 million in annual revenue for us would be a 3% global procedure penetration or an 8% US procedure penetration. So we believe those are attainable. The company is less than 2 years old. So we started 23 months ago. We raised a Series A on a convertible note. All those notes have now converted, so there's no more debt in the company. And in mid-February, we closed the Series A round of $2.5 million on a $5 million pre-money valuation. So our post-money, as we sit here today, is $9 million. With that money, with the cash we have in the bank right now, we can get through both regulatory approvals, we can build our launch inventory, we can do the global commercial launch, US and OUS, and we can initiate both of those clinical registries. So thanks to all of you who came for the late presentations. Thank you.